All right, so to review for the quiz, right, we're doing frequency tables and relative frequency tables. So, and you can use your notes. So let's label to start off. So this one right here is going to be a frequency table. All right, and this one is a relative frequency table. So that you know the difference when you take a quiz and you can look at them and see, make sure you're doing them correctly as you go. All right, so this first question says this: the students in a seaside school are to have extra swimming lessons if they cannot swim. The table below gives information about the students in grades 7, 8, and 9, okay? And so here's our frequency table. It's saying 127th graders can swim, 60 cannot. 168 eighth graders can swim, 11 cannot. And then ninth graders, 172 can swim and only 3 cannot. Okay, so in this case, the only blanks are totals, right? So raise your hand if you can give me the total number of 7th grade students. Crystal, go. 180, good. So to get the total, we just add 120 plus 60 equals 180. Okay, someone else give me the total for 8th grade. Duran, go ahead. One what? Okay, what did you say? 179? What did you do? 168, then what? Add 11. And how much did you get?
I can't tell if it's a 4 or not.
It's a 9. 179. Okay, next. Grade 9. Jeffrey, go.
175.
175. So all we're doing is adding across this way, okay? Now, going this way, how many students in total can in fact swim? Mayana, how many? 460. A lot more. So all we do is add 120 plus 168 plus 172 is 460. All right, Liz Mari, how many cannot swim? 70, how many? 74. Thank you. All right, now this number going this way, adding these and adding these should be the same total. Go ahead, Zamaya. 5 what? 534 total students were polled here, okay? So this is how you fill out a frequency table. Now we're going to fill out a relative frequency table. First of all, what is the difference between a frequency table and a relative frequency? Go, Connor.
The frequency is different than the relative because the relative is the percentages.
Correct.
And the frequency is just the numbers of people who.
That is exactly right. So this is going to be percentages, okay?
And the left other one is just numbers.
Yep, and this is actual numbers. These are the actual number of humans, right? So like grade 7, 120 humans can swim, 60 cannot. There's 180 humans. Now we want the percentage of them, okay? Now, who can tell me how to get the answer for the first one, like grade 7? All right, who has not gone yet? Is there anyone that hasn't gone that knows the answer? Sit on. How do I do it? And I'm going to do this on a sticky note so I can move it. Go ahead.
You divide 120 by 534. Multiply by 100.
Perfect. That is great. Did you get the answer?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll give you a second to get the answer, but I just want to show, if people are not here, the way we get it. This first one, we look at that spot. So we find that's 120. We always divide it by the total. So the total in this case is 534. And then we times that by 100 to put it as a percent. So what'd you get when you put that in? 22.4. And then we can't forget, we want to put a percent sign on each one of these answers. Okay, so now we're going to do each one. So for the cannot swims, we start with 60. We would divide it by 534 times 100, and we get the answer there. Connor, go ahead.
11.23.
Okay, and we're going to just do it to the nearest tenth, so we're going to leave it 11.2. Okay? All right, let's do the next one. So for the total, we do 180 divided by 534 times 100 equals, and we should get the answer. Somebody do it. Zamaya, go ahead. I'm sorry. 33.7%. Okay, and we're going to do each one in that way. 168 divided by 534 times 100 equals, Kathy, go ahead, 31.5 here. Okay, and so let's give you guys a second to do the rest of them and then just give me the answers for these. You got the middle one, Connor?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
2.0.
2.0?
2.0.
Okay. And you can see like 11 out of 534 is not going to give you a big percentage, right? Okay, give me a total percentage here. Duran, go ahead. 33.5? Okay. All right, that sounds right. All right, this one should be a little bit higher percentage. 172 out of 534. Zamaya, go ahead. Okay. All right, next, cannot swims. This one should be low, right? Only 3 people out of 534 cannot swim and are 9th graders. Crystal, what'd you get? There we go, 0.5%. So less than 1% of those students are 9th graders that can't swim. All right, and what's our total percent on 9th grade students? Liz Murray, what do you got? 34%. Now we've got our totals, and I'm going to put 34.0. All right, so what is my under can swim? 460 out of 534 can swim. So what would that total percentage be under here? Go ahead, Connor.
86.1.
Okay, there we go. All right, who's got the total for cannot swim? Jeffrey, go ahead.
13.8%.
Good. And what does this final total always have to be? Every time on relative frequency, 100, right? And they won't sometimes, because we are adding or we're rounding, if you add them up, they might not be exactly 100, but they should be mighty close. All right. And so this is the basics of the quiz that is coming up. Now, there won't be this many questions that follow them. All right. But let's just, for the sake of the video, answer a couple of them to show you the type of questions that you might see. All right. So, like question A is complete the table. All right, we did that. Now question B says, how many students need swimming lessons? Crystal, how many students need swimming lessons? Good. Where did you get that number? Yes, okay. So if you take a look, it doesn't say what percent of students, it says how many students need swimming lessons. 74 total kids cannot swim. They need swimming lessons. That's where that number comes from. Okay. How many students are there in the 8th grade? Go, Mayana. Yeah, okay. 179, right? So that's the total students in the 8th grade, 179 students. Okay, now I'm going to skip down because these are all for the frequency table. So that it doesn't go till part G that says create the two-way relative frequency table. So let's answer this question, H. What is the relative frequency of students who are in 8th grade and cannot swim? Jeffrey, go ahead. 33 and cannot swim. So that's the total 8th graders is 33.5. We want the ones that are in 8th grade and cannot swim. 2% would be that answer. Okay, so that's the difference, right? A lot of times they'll either say, what is the relative frequency? And let's answer the next one. Or it will say, what percentage if you're doing relative frequency. So what percentage of 9th grade students can swim? Liz Mari, go ahead. Yes, 33.5% can swim. And so basically, right, what we're doing is we fill them out and then you answer questions that go with those tables. Now, for the sake of the video, I'm going to skip. We're going to go back to this, but I want to do one where you have to make it yourself. All right? So turn the paper over. If there is nothing made, and I'm only going to do the top one, and you have to make it yourself, okay? See, it's totally blank. Then what we have to do is this, all right? So it says draw your own two-way table, and notice it doesn't say relative frequency. If it just says two-way table, we're just saying frequency table for the given information to answer the question. Okay, here's the given information. In a class of 32 students, there were 8 girls who played basketball and 5 boys who did not. Okay, to start off a frequency table with nothing, you want to start with this off-centered T-shape. And then we want to fill in this first part so we know not to put anything in it. And then we got to think of the categories. So in this case, what's one set of categories if we talk about this? Go, Jeffrey. Basketball and what? Don't think too hard about this. Plays basketball and what else then? Total's going to be one of them, but what's next to plays basketball? Connor.
Doesn't play basketball.
Does not play basketball. So we have plays basketball, does not play basketball. I'm just going to put does not basketball because I don't have enough space, but you know what I mean. And what's the third category then? Total. All right, so that's those, but we also need categories running up and down. So don't think too hard about this. It's right in front of your face, all right? What's my other set of categories? Mayana, go. Boys and girls, and the third one? Total. Boys, girls, and total. All right, now we got to fill in what we know. So in a class of 32 students, where does 32 go?
Total.
In the final total, right here. That's a whole total. There were 8 girls who played basketball. Okay, so girls and plays basketball goes here. That's where 8 goes. And 5 boys who did not. All right, boys does not. 5. All right. Okay. Now, that's not enough information yet, right? We have nothing in here where there's 2 places. So we got to read. So how many boys played basketball if there were 15 girls in the class? So where does 15 girls go? Total girls, right? So now this is enough information. Before we answer this question, we can fill out the rest of the table, right? What can I fill out first? Go, Connor.
So the other group, the ones that the girls should not play basketball.
Okay, yep, there's actually, I can do girls or I could do total, right? Because there's only one missing this way and only one missing this way. So let's do girls then who do not play basketball. What is this answer going to be? If the total is 15 and 8 play basketball, Crystal, how many? 7 goes here. 15 minus 8 is 7. All right, now that opens some spaces up, right? So let's do total boys for this one, this column here. Total boys, Mayana, would be what? 17. 32 minus 15 is 17. There's multiple places that I can do now. What do you want to do next? Zamaya, go ahead. Boys that do play basketball, what's that one going to be? 12. 17 minus 5 is 12. Okay, now we can do either of these totals. Both of them we can add, right? What's the total that play basketball? Go ahead, yell it out. 20. What's the total that do not play basketball? 12. So the question was, how many boys played basketball if there are 15 girls in the class? 12. 12 boys. Okay. So the next one here is to create the relative frequency, which I'm not going to do on the video here to make it too long, but it would be the same thing. We would make the same chart and change them all to percentages, right? Okay, so quiz over this will come Monday for us.